have our sea bass with our potatoes and dill, Moroccan style fish with sweet peppers, tomatoes, cilantro, and spices, chicken brown stew, and tofu chicken in caramelized onions and tomatoes. Those are our dinners. For lunch proteins, we have our salmon pieces plus our prawns, ground chicken, roasted zucchinis, eggplant, and sweet peppers, as well as sauteed okra with sweet peppers. Hi guys, welcome back to another week of meal prep, and today we are in week 2 of February, and so we are going to start with prepping the vegetables first today instead of the main dishes. For today we have our staple zucchinis and eggplant, and this we are just going to roast in the oven. So let me start that. The zucchinis is all sliced, my pan is oiled, and now I'm just going to rub the veggies in the oil. I'll put on salt and pepper lightly and some rosemary. You don't need a lot, just for fragrance. My oven is on high, and so you want to heat your oven to 400 degrees and also bake your zucchinis and eggplant on 400 degrees. And so this is done. Now we can chill in the oven. And once the zucchinis and eggplant is almost done, then I will put in the sweet peppers on top of that and just cook it for another 2 minutes, and then the veggies will be done. Guys, as for our veggies is almost done. So I'm gonna put the sweet peppers on top, toss it a little, and I'm gonna put it back in the oven on broil for 1 minute, and then the veggies will be done. Alright guys, our lunch veggies are also done now. On to our second lunch veggie, which will be okra with sweet peppers. We're going to start with a tablespoon of sesame seed oil. Then we add half a tablespoon of cumin seeds, half a tablespoon of coriander seeds, and half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And a quarter teaspoon of sugar. So we're just going to cook these through. And now we can put in our okra and stir this through. We're going to cook this until the okra is roasted, and then we will add our sweet peppers. So as you can see, the okra is nice and roasted. Now we add our sweet peppers. Cook this through for half a minute, so 30 seconds. Just get a nice roast on the sweet peppers as well. And remember, you always want to cook this on high heat and keep stirring or tossing, because you do not want that okra to be slimy. And the dish is done. On to our final dishes, which are our lunch proteins. We're going to have some prawns, pieces of salmon. This we just put in the air fryer. Seafood, 13 minutes. Next is our prawns, salt and pepper. And lastly, 400 grams of ground chicken. Put some pepper over. Teaspoon of salt. Tablespoon of coriander powder. And half a tablespoon of cumin powder. Alright guys, here you can see our ground chicken is done. You always make it into taco chicken or taco meat, as well as our prawns is done. I didn't put any oil here, but I will put half a teaspoon of oil just to glaze it. In this pan, I only put half a teaspoon of oil. Now it's just for our air fryer salmon pieces, and then we are done. The first main dish for dinner is our chicken stew, our brown stew. So what we need is an onion or half an onion. I'm going to add a quarter teaspoon of sugar and brown that onion. So my onion is now brown. You cook it on medium and you keep stirring it. And now we can add our other ingredients, which is our chicken. And this time I'm using chicken breast, potatoes, half a tablespoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, black pepper, and 500 ml of water. Cover, and now this dish will cook until it's done. And as you could notice, I used less salt and less pepper because it is chicken breast. Now on to dish number 2. This is chicken with tofu. So we're just going to use a tablespoon of olive oil, and then the tofu is already sliced nicely. You want to slice your tofu nicely in a 1/4 inch thickness, and toss the tofu in the olive oil. You want to do this with your tofu, toss it in your olive oil. And now we're going to need salt and pepper. Just sprinkle it. I have a mixture of salt and pepper here. So I'll just sprinkle this on there. Cook it on high heat and cook it until your tofu is done. Alright guys, the tofu is done, and so I removed it from the pan. Now I'm going to add my chicken, and it's just chicken breast. Salt and pepper the chicken breast. Add a tablespoon of olive oil to your pan. And guys, while this is cooking, I am going to cut the tofu into pieces. One piece you cut into 3 pieces. Just bite-sized cubes. The chicken has browned enough. Let's put the tofu back in. And now I have some caramelized onions that I cooked already, as well as steamed tomatoes. So 2 big steamed tomatoes and 2 big onions that I caramelized. That goes in. One cup of water. Cover the pan and let this simmer until the chicken is done. And you simmer it on medium heat. Let's start with our first fish recipe. We add a tablespoon of sesame seed oil, half a tablespoon of caraway seeds, half a tablespoon of cumin seeds, half a teaspoon of sugar, and half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. We want to cook these spices through. And with that, I will add half a cup of water. So I will now cook the spices through. In the meantime, let's salt our fish. I have a mixture of salt and pepper here. We have 2 whole fish, and I am going to salt and pepper this fish inside and outside. Just sprinkle the salt and pepper over. It's better if you have a mixture of the salt and pepper already. It just makes the process much easier. Let's check on our mixture here. It's coming to a boil now. Smells good. Some lemon pieces in here. It's just 1 lemon and it's completely peeled. Just let this also cook a little bit, including some sweet peppers and tomato slices. So I'm just gonna cook this for a minute or so, and then I'm going to transfer it to an oven pan. Turn your fish and salt and pepper it lightly on the outside as well. The mixture is also done. And so I'm going to transfer the mixture into this pan. Let's transfer the mixture straight into the oven pan. Make sure you get all your seeds out. Now you want to add your fish. Cover with foil, your pan with foil, and into your hot oven. Onto our second fish dish. Here's my oven pan. I already oiled it at the bottom. First and foremost, I will sprinkle some dill at the bottom. Also some dill ends, put there at the bottom. Sprinkle my fish with salt and pepper. This is sea bass. Just going to sprinkle it with salt and pepper there. And then lay down some thyme sprigs at the bottom as well. And next we want to add some lemon peel. Just the peel of the lemon. These 2 dishes goes very well together. This is actually perfect for this dish because the previous dish we needed just the lemon unpeeled, and for this dish we need the peels of the lemon. These 2 dishes goes very well together. Then we're going to salt and pepper the outside as well of the sea bass. And now we can lay the sea bass skin down and sprinkle some more thyme sprigs on here, lemon peel. Now we want to lay down some potatoes, the slices of potatoes. And you also want to salt and pepper your potatoes. And you also want to salt your potatoes just on the top of it. And now we can add the rest of our dill on the top. Add a cup of water, cover with foil, put it in the oven. Our dinner dishes and our lunch dishes are done. So first we have our sea bass with our potatoes and dill. Then we have another type of fish that is a Moroccan style fish with sweet peppers, tomatoes, cilantro, and spices. Then we have chicken brown stew and tofu chicken in caramelized onions and tomatoes. Those are our dinners. For lunch proteins, we have our salmon pieces plus our prawns. Then we have ground chicken, roasted zucchinis, eggplant, and sweet peppers, as well as sauteed okra with sweet peppers. And those are our dishes for this week.